I want to talk to you about life. It is just so difficult to be alive, isn't it? And try to function. I mean, there are all these people you have to deal with. I tried to buy a can of tuna fish at the supermarket the other day, and there was this guy standing right in front of where I wanted to reach out and grab the tuna fish. And I waited to see if he'd move, and he didn't. He was looking at the tuna fish too, but he was taking a real long time about it, reading the ingredients on each can like they were a book. A pretty boring book, if you ask me, which nobody has. So I waited a while to see if he'd move, and he didn't. And I thought about asking him to move, but then I had this nagging fear that it would do no good at all, to simply ask him to move. He'd probably turn around and say something like, "We'll move when we're ready, you nagging bitch." And then what would I do? So I started to cry out of frustration, quietly, so as not to disturb anyone. And still, even though I was softly sobbing, this stupid person couldn't grasp that I needed to get past him. And so I reached out with my fist and I brought it down real hard on the back of his head and I screamed, "Would you kindly move, asshole?" And then he crumpled to the ground and looked totally startled, and a child nearby started crying, and I was still crying, and so I yelled at the child, "Would you stop crying?" It was drawing way too much attention to me. And then I ran out of the supermarket, and I thought, I'll take a taxi to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I need to be surrounded by culture right now, not tuna fish.
Good morrow, Kate, for that's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard? But something hard of hearing. They call me Catherine that do talk of me.
You lie in faith, for you are called plain Kate, and sometimes bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Cursed. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainty are all Kates, and therefore, Kate, take this of me. Kate, of my consolation. Herein thy virtues spoke of it, thy beauty sounded, but not so much as to thee belongs. I myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved in good time. Let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you at the first. You were immovable.
Why, what's a movable?
A joint stool.
Oh, thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me.
Oh, asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you.
Oh, no such jade as you, if me you mean.
Alas, good Kate, I would not burden thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet heavy as my weight should be.
Should buzz.
Well ta'en and like a buzzard.
Oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard take thee?
Aye, for a turtle as he takes a buzzard.
Come, you wasp, in faith you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy then is to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find it where it lies.
He knows not where a wasp does wear his sting. In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Nay, Kate, come again. I am a gentleman.
That I'll try.
I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
Oh, so you may lose your arms. If you strike me, you are no gentleman. And if no gentleman, why then no arms?
A herald, Kate. Oh, put me in thy books.
Oh, what is your crest, a coxcomb?
A combless cock, so Kate will be my hen.
Oh, no cock of mine, you crow too, like a craven.
Oh, come, Kate, come. You must not look so sour.
Oh, it is my fashion when I see a crab.
Well, there is no crab, and therefore look not sour.
Oh, there is.
Then show it me.
Had I a glass, I would.
What? You mean my face?
Well aimed of such a young one.
Oh, then by St. George, I am too young for you.
Oh, yet you are withered.
'Tis with cares.
I care not.
Nay, hear you, Kate, in sooth you scape not so.
I'll chafe you if I tarry, let me go. Oh, God, I hate Shakespeare. Right, I said it.
No.
I do, I hate Shakespeare.
Why?
I just don't get it, how a mediocre actor from a measly little town is suddenly the brightest jewel in England's royal crown. Oh, God, I hate Shakespeare. His plays are wordy, but oh no, the great Shakespeare. That little turd, he has no sense about the audience. He makes them feel so dumb. The bastard doesn't care that my poor ass is getting numb.
How can you say that? How can you say that?
It's easy, I can say it because it's absolutely true.
Don't be a penis, the man is a genius.
His genius is he's fooling all of you.
But he's brilliant, what majesty flows from his pen. His poetry soars like a sweet violin. God's own inspiration like lightning doth strike him, and he captures my soul.
Aw, geez, you sound just like him.
Gee, thanks.
You should hate Shakespeare.
Well, I don't. I try to emulate Shakespeare.
See, that's your problem. You're so blinded by the bard who's such a pompous little man.
Why is it a problem to admit that I'm a fan?
Because he's a hack with a knack for stealing anything he can.
How can you say that? How can you say that the man really knows how to write a bitchin' play? You wish you could pen one. I wish I was in one.
I just wish that he would go away.
But everyone that I know says that William Shakespeare is the greatest writer that England has ever known.
And that's another thing I hate about Shakespeare, is all the twits who bloviate about Shakespeare, and how they prattle on about his great accomplishments with la-di-da-di-da. And once they start their gushing, there's no stopping, and it's da-da-da-da-da, Shakespeare. Then he walks in, it's da-da-da-da, Shakespeare. He's holding court, and they say, Will, you're such a genius, and your writing is divine. I would say any other name is such a clever line, and they're all, ooh, and he's all, stop, and they're all, yay, and I'm all, and I'm really getting sick of it. And I hate Shakespeare.
I think by now we sort of know she hates Shakespeare.
Shakespeare, the way he feigns humility when all he does is gloat. The way he wears that silly, frilly collar around his throat. The poster child for why no one should ever procreate. If I could make a shorter list, then I would give it to you straight. Every little thing about Shakespeare is what I hate.
She hates. She really, surely, truly, really hates Shakespeare. Don't hate. Well, then it seems that we are at an impasse.
I fear so. I cannot compete with you physically, and you are no match for my brains.
Oh, you are that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Yes.
Morons.
Really? Then I challenge you to a battle of the wits.
For the princess? To the death. I accept.
Then pour the wine. Take this and smell, but do not touch.
I smell nothing.
What you do not smell is called iocane powder. It is odorless, tasteless, and dissolves instantly in liquid. It is among the deadlier poisons known to man. Now, fetch the goblets.
Take them yourself.
Now, the battle of wits has begun. The winner is decided when you choose and we find out who is dead and who is right.
But it's so simple. All I need do is divine from what I know of you. Are you the kind of man who would put the poison into his own goblet or his enemy's? Now, a clever man would place the poison into his own goblet, for he would know that only a fool would reach for what he was given. So I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you. But I am not a great fool, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me.
You've made your choice then?
Not remotely. Because iocane comes from Australia, and Australia, as everyone knows, is entirely populated with criminals. And criminals are not to be trusted, as you are not trusted by me, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
Wait till I get going. Where was I? Ah, yes, Australia. But you must have suspected that I would have known the powder's origin, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me.
You're stalling now.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you? You've bested my Turk, which means that you are exceptionally strong, and you might have put the poison into your own cup, counting on your strength to save you, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you. But you also bested my Spaniard, which means you must have studying, and in studying you must have learned that man is mortal, and would want the poison as far from yourself as possible, so therefore, I cannot choose the wine in front of me.
You're trying to trick me into giving away something. It won't work.
It has worked. You've given everything away. I know where the poison is.
Then choose.
I will. And I choose... What in the world could that be?
What? Where? I don't see anything.
No matter. I could have sworn I saw something.
What's so funny?
Nothing. I'll tell you in a minute. First, let's drink. Me from my glass and you from yours.
You chose wrong.
You only think I chose wrong. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. You fell victim to one of the classic blunders, the first and most well-known being never wage a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well-known is this: never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line. Donald and Elizabeth are now too happy to be able to hear me. I can therefore let you in on a secret. Donald is not Donald, and Elizabeth is not Elizabeth. And here is the proof. The child that Donald spoke of is not Elizabeth's child. They are not the same person. Donald's child has one red eye and one white eye, like Elizabeth's child, whereas Donald's daughter has one red right eye and one white left eye. Elizabeth's daughter has one white right eye and one red left eye. Therefore, all of Donald's system of deduction collapses in the face of this one last obstacle. It destroys his whole theory, despite the extraordinary coincidences which seem to be definitive proofs. Donald and Elizabeth, not being parents of the same child, are not Donald and Elizabeth. It is in vain that he thinks he is Donald, and it is in vain that she thinks she is Elizabeth. It is in vain that he thinks she is Elizabeth, and it is in vain that she thinks he is Donald. They are sadly deceived. But who is the true Donald? Who is the true Elizabeth? I don't know. Let's not try to know. Oh, let's leave things as they are. My real name is Sherlock Holmes. I was once told the story of a man who, while surveying the grounds of his home, planted his walking stick into the earth as a reminder of where he one day wished to have an acacia tree. One he could watch from his veranda and lie under on warm summer afternoons, blanketed in its white leaves. But when planting season came round and the man returned with a spade and an acacia sapling, the man was vexed. For the stick he had left had begun to grow. It was nearly as tall as himself now, with thin, awkward branches and frail clusters of new leaves. The man dug his spade into the ground to unearth the strange thing, but stopped. For underneath the leaves, he spied a small blossom. It was acacia. Enchantment, some might say, or providence, perhaps. I suppose the only certain thing is that the man had lost a perfectly good walking stick. If that's the part you choose to see, the rest is open to opinion. If only it were that some enchantment would step in for us all, to change what we have into what we wish for, to bridge that awkward gap between our many befores and afters. Because for every after found, a before must be lost. And loss is by nature an unbalancing thing. More unbalancing, however, is to have your before stripped away without an after replacing it, leaving you to merely wait and to wonder if there is to be an after at all, or if that merely waiting and wondering are your after in themselves.
If today were the day that you had to stop acting, how would you feel?
Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. We did what we had to do. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love, what I did for love. is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love.
You nervous?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's this song called I Want to Do Math with You. And the joke was that you couldn't do math.
Anna, do you want the sticks on the mask?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
This is my pre-show clothes.
Oh, nice.